Hello, everybody. Tonight is our February 2019 leadership training. And tonight I'm excited because our onboarding with our messenger bots is growing, and the Strong Start 2 bot, I have a date for launching it, which is going to be awesome because we're starting this year really having a very good system to support our new littles, which is a big deal. I feel like last year, and a lot of maybe the reasons why maybe we didn't see as much results as what we hoped last year is because I feel bite-sized chunks of training in that very beginning stages is super important. So it's why I invested in the bot. But I'm going to walk through how you onboard a new little sis. There's a document on our team page that I'm just going to go through, and I'm going to also kind of share a little bit about ManyChat, which is the back end, which you really don't have to know much about, but I'm going to show you that. And then I'm also going to show you that if you are like my niece, or say as you grow and you become a senior mentor or director and you want to invest in bots for your team, how you would end up working with RJ. And like now that we have this system, it's going to be a little bit easier and also less expense inducive as well. So, and RJ's, we're still like kind of working that out, but I want to give you just kind of an update there. So we're going to start with the bots part, the onboarding part, because we are going to start thinking about what are some intentional ways to navigate recruiting. I think that that's something, I want the word intentional for everybody to like really start sticking here in this group. I think so often we can get stuck in kind of the big overall picture, but the Unit of Bravery has always been a group that focuses on the intention of why we're reaching out to someone. So I just want to really encourage everybody to think about that word intentional when we're talking about anything that we're doing as Unit of Bravery. But with that is your red carpet experience for your customers. And I'm going to go into what exactly is a red carpet and why you want to be talking to your littles about a red carpet. Not only thinking about it for yourself as a leader, but we're going to talk a little bit about a red carpet, what it does for your business and the longevity and consistency of your business, but also what it can do to help keep from burnout, not also for you, but mostly for your customers. And this is from experience myself of struggling with that. So we're gonna just dive in. I'm gonna share my screen and show you the onboarding Strong Start process. Now this document is in the files section of our team page, so you can find it there. I also have a unit that is for onboarding, so you can find it there as well. And right now, currently, it is in the announcement section too. So it's in 3 different spots. I've been trying to use this document or like note area to put trainings and so forth because it is easier for people to locate. It's also easy for you guys to tag somebody too. So that's where you're going to see a lot of these things, and I'm going to try to make them as streamlined as possible. But you can dive into this and read. I'm not going to read this to you, but basically it's about the onboarding process during the first 90 days. That's what we consider the Strong Start, even though we only have 2 Strong Start like bonus things for the first 30 days and the first 60 days. The first 90 days is really when a new fellow is needing this Strong Start support, okay? And so I believe, and this is my hope, is to make a bot for the last 30 days of their time here too, because I think that that's also important for us as a team to be really creating that connection with them. It is not, so that you know, the Strong Start bot is not like I want to say throwing up the training from HQ. It is basically a touch point. The first 30 days is a 15-day, 16-day, because there's some pause days in there, touch point to help your new little sis know what's the important parts. And from a lot of us in leadership, knowing where did people stumble? Where did people struggle? Like when it comes to goal setting, or it comes to deciding on what day they're going to book their launch party. It really is created so that we can be supporting those new sisters, not in telling them what to do, but in like, here's where we want you to go next and how we want you to engage and communicate with the team during this process. It does give your new little sis an opportunity to summon you as a big sis, which I think is super important, because the biggest thing I found, and I think many of the other leaders have found, is people are so afraid to ask questions of their big sis, even though they know you. And so I've already seen having that opportunity of the bot saying, do you need us to summon your little sis, at pinpoints where we found like, oh, someone was struggling here, or this is usually where people get stuck. It is truly helping them advocate for themselves so much better, and making the big sis aware. So that's just kind of an overall, so that you understand what the bot is about. Here it's about what to do first. So again, we don't have an interview necessarily like process where you have to fill out an interview form anymore. Your new little sister is going to use the Join Now button to go through that, but I'm a firm advocate of the intentionality of an interview. So I still have this here is the link to the interview form. I wouldn't say you need to fill that out and send it to HQ anymore. They'll send you an email and say you don't need to do this anymore. But it's there to prompt you with questions on that first kind of meet up with her. And I would encourage you to talk with her within your first 24 to 48 hours after she says she wants to join, through Zoom. And so getting them to learn how to use Zoom, I think, is also a pretty important thing. During that call, find out if she received her kit tracking, because that Join Now thing is going to have them get their starter kit and all of that right away. Before you email her with her invite to the Strong Start bot, which I have an email template here that you can just copy and paste, before you email her, you want to message me here on Facebook and ask to become an admin in ManyChat, which is, again, the back office for the bot. What this is allowing you to do, it's going to ask to access your Facebook account. What it's allowing you to do is basically see what her answers are to the bot. And I'm going to show you what that looks like in a little bit. But I have here an email template that after you ask me to become an admin, to send her this email template, and the email template has the link for her to click on to start the Strong Start bot, the first one. All right. Now it just has here about how will you see your progress, and so I'm going to go in and just show you that real quickly. ManyChat.com is the name of the website you would want to go to. Once you're an admin, you will see this dashboard. And what's great about this is once she's, oh, come on, audience. Here, active subscribers. Let's see if it'll let me go. So there it is. So here it will show everybody who is what we call opted into the Messenger bot. All right, so they're subscribed to it. It's almost just like an email list. And what you can do here is you can filter. So you could do here like opted through, and it might be maybe it was like a welcome link. This is more for like my customers. But if we do a search, maybe we're going to look for, let's look for one of Juliana's. Give me a name, Juliana. Sarah, right?
Yeah.
So here's Sarah. I can pull up Sarah, or Juliana, I can pull up Sarah, and she can see, okay, she did what days she did. She can see, oh, she chose a self-hosted trunk show as her launch. Here's her 60-day goal of what she wants to make in 60 days. She shared her story in the Facebook group. So she looked at the Pinterest ideas. She even did the booking blitz. That was a second bot. So this is gonna, there's a lot of tags on the back end of this that you can go in and look and see, did my person fill these things out? And so that's really helpful. The other thing that is available, and I have to talk to RJ a little bit about this. RJ, if you're not familiar with her, she is the woman who is the tech person that builds these out for us, the beginning questions of like, how do you like to be communicated and things like that, that was put into a Excel spreadsheet first, but it wasn't working at first when a bulk of people got in it. So her and I have to talk about how do we pull in some of those beginning people. It'll tell you when she subscribed to the bot, so you're able to see. But this is primarily the only place you need to go. You don't have to go anywhere over here. This is really where you would want to go to just see, like, you know, what has she answered in the bot itself. Does that make sense for everybody? Does everybody understand that, how you would access this or why you would access it? Now, should your little sis summon you as a big sis? Right now, ManyChat does not have a way for any extra admins but one admin to get the alert. That's something that RJ is really asking them about, because we do have the tag that when she says you're her big sister, it tags her to you. So you could even filter there with like big sis is Sarah Woodson, all right? And it would bring up all of Sarah's girls who are in the bot. Now where was I going with that? Trying to think of my thought process here. What did I just say? Oh, I'll get the alert if she summons you. What I've been doing right now is just taking a screenshot of, it'll say like, Sarah Guthrie summoned her big sis, needs help with goals or something of that nature. It'll have like a brief explanation of what she needs help with. What I've been doing right now is I've been sending that to the big sister. If it's a newer, like new sister, so just recently we've had some newer, like in their first 90 days, recruit somebody, which was our hope. I'm also tagging the auntie as well in that, just because some of the questions might be something that new little sis might need your support in answering for their new sis, if that makes sense. So that's been basically, and I check ManyChat every morning. It is a consistent activity for me to go in here and check. It's under the live chat. If there is anyone who's like responding to anything or asking for something, it'll show up in here for me. So that's where I'm going in and checking it. If it's something that I can help them with, I'm just kind of commenting and giving them directions. If it's something that I feel like, oh, you should be definitely talking to your big sister, then I'm navigating it and sending it on to you. So you know that. But this is the Strong Start Bot 1, again, is the first 15 days, 16 days. I do have in here kind of like a day checklist for you of days where there's things where I think maybe you should be aware of what is happening that day. So like day 3, you'll want to reach out to her to see if she shared her Seiko story on the team page. So if you're a senior mentor, I do have the links for them to go to your team page to share that. I have like day 6, this is an area where maybe you want to send out some quick encouragement, because it's a day that can sometimes be a little bit overwhelming because we're talking about their calendar and goal setting. Day 8 is a pause day because we found that to be really helpful. So, you know, maybe here invite, you know, like her first event, the brand guidelines in Canva is probably a good time to check in with her to see if she knows how to use those things or has tried them out. So just look over these to see, like, these are days where I'm kind of giving you an advance heads up. Like when she's on day 10, you might want to reach out to her to do this. So Strong Start 1, one of the biggest things I can say to you guys is making sure they know the path to success is hitting Strong Start 1. And so just reminding her during the process to feel free. She can reach out to the team page for any questions. Do your best to revert her to HQ for quick links and things like that. I think that's another big piece of why I wanted to do the bots, because as your team grows, there's a less amount of time that you can stop and do a tutorial for someone or things like that. And I am pushing HQ to have more tutorials on the main fellows group for different trainings and things like that, because I don't feel that those are things that we should have to create if it's an overall piece, but that takes time. When she hits the first strong start, you're gonna get an alert about that. Throw a gift celebration in the group. I think that that's super important that we're celebrating these things. And then we're on to Strong Start 2. So again, I will have the Strong Start 2 will also have a doc and a file so that you know when that's rolling out. The date that I plan on rolling it out, or I hope we can roll out together, is March 6th. So that you know, Strong Start 2 buy is going to be 7 days. There's 2 pause days in there as well. And it's basically the premise behind it was, I don't know if you've seen Danielle's confidence challenge, that was in the Biz Builders training, but that was definitely kind of the influence behind it, but in more of a very intentional, focused way. So it is a 7 days, here's what to do, here's verbiage. And so I'm excited for us to test it. RJ should have it done tomorrow. So I will be putting the link to test it in the leader chat for everybody to test it out if you'd like to test it out. Next, so we did ManyChat. So for RJ, so that you know, I'm going to put this in the comments. RJ is developing a training class on how to build your own bots. This is great even for your own business. Erin Sutliff does great with bots during like 10 ways, 10 days. And our birthday celebration, she builds a bot for that. And so it's like, again, it's an email list, but it's very intentional through your messenger, which pretty much everybody uses messenger. So just so that's a little heads up there. And RJ is working on pricing of basically what we created, but once you're at a director level, and this is me just being very honest, I wouldn't invest in this until you're a director. You can use ours. And even then, I'm still going to have links for any of my up to granddaughters to be able to click on your team page once you have your team page, if you choose to have a team page. Sarah, I would really love to figure out if you can figure out for me the link for your Voxer. I would love to have share on Sojourner Voxer instead, like any of your new girls could go there and share. But I'm not sure how to grab that link. So if you can send that to me, that would be great. All right, red carpets. So red carpets, this for me was a pretty big eye opener. And HQ, we have trainings for VIP groups. VIP groups are definitely a red carpet. But what I want to talk about red carpets as in, what do you recommend your littles to do? Because they might not, it's good to replicate for them to do what you do. I believe in that, but sometimes that isn't the easiest thing for them to do or the thing that's going to work the best for them. So I want to talk about red carpet so that you can train your teams, your littles, what is the best red carpet, and to start with a red carpet right away of some sort. So what do you do, or your team, what do you do, or do you tell your team to do when you send a message and someone says, well, I don't want to host right now? And you feel free to put in the comments, if you have an answer of what you usually would say to somebody if they say, I don't want to host right now, or maybe they say, I don't think I'm really into it. I've had a couple of those lately. Maybe after the season of life. So maybe they say, maybe after my kitchen is remodeled, or maybe after my son goes to college, I'll be interested then. What do you say, or what do you train your team members to say? So you have a spreadsheet to keep track of those people. Do you respond in any specific way, Sarah? Because I think that there's ways to respond to that without being pushy or pressury. And so that's where a red carpet can really become an asset to you and to your littles. Diana says, sometimes I write them in my calendar to reach back out in a few months. I typically just say something about getting in touch in a little while. Yes. So I would say that's primarily where we first go. Okay, not right now means I'm going to reach out to them later. However, I do think there's a way because what I know about sales is the reason someone's giving you that answer isn't always because they don't want to do it right now. It is because they're on this level of skepticism of like, I don't know really what this is or what this is about, or is this really her thing? Is she going to stick with it? Like, there's this skepticism level of like, I don't know, right? And so one of the best ways to get them from that level of I don't know to, hey, I know if this is for me or not, ready when the next time you message them and say, hey, you said in a little while, are you ready? Would be to recommend them to go to a space where you're going to provide them with that get to know, that know, like, and trust. And it can be a couple different places. So it can be your social media. So Instagram, your Instagram can completely be a place for that. It could be your VIP group, which is what Seiko kind of recommends as the red carpet for customers. It could be a loyalty plan, which Sarah, I was talking with Sarah about that. Sarah had done a loyalty plan for a while. It could be a quiz that then is building out your email list to do a newsletter. It could be a messenger bot that's linked with a Facebook business page. And I found out earlier last week that Instagram will be linking because now they're owned by the same person. Your messenger bots will be able to be used with your Instagram account as well through DM. So offering another ask of like, this is what I'll usually do. I'm like, hey, I understand. I know life is crazy, or maybe you're unsure if this is something you'd be interested in. Would you like a link to my insider group? It's a place where I share about Seiko, but I also share some other things that I'm really passionate about around education and women empowerment. It's a no pressure zone, but I do share sales and things like that. And I will promise you the majority of the time, the percentage of answers of, yeah, sure, send me the link is going to go up. Or, hey, would you like to be a part of my loyalty plan? It includes following me on my Instagram account, you know, whatever it is, you can add this extra ask. And I think it's such an important thing to train your littles on, because one of the biggest things it'll help them do is not burn out their customer base. It creates a place where those customers can grow and evolve with them, and not just be blasting the ask of hosting a show. I'm coming over here. How do you guys feel about that? Do you feel like having something like that, and definitely intentionally thinking of it as a red carpet, because we all want to serve these people with a need, right? With something they want, something they desire. And I think the thought of a red carpet makes it more appealing, right? But also very intentional. Now, how much time should be spent on a red carpet? Again, this is your level of fellow. I would really encourage you to think about where they're saying and projecting and giving you goals. If there's someone who is saying, I want to build a business here, I want to go to Uganda, right? Then something that's going to be a little bit more intensive, like an insider group or a VIP group. This is why Seiko promotes this one, because they promote building a business, which is important because they need that, right? But an insider or a VIP group on Facebook is a lot of work. It's a lot of time and content creation. It's a lot of consistency needed for it. And so I don't encourage that for someone who says to you, I'm a hobbyist, I'm a side hustler. Because I don't, with the algorithms and the way that Facebook is now, I really don't feel like that's the best red carpet for them. I feel it's going to cause more stress to your little than what they need. So that's where I would think about, well, an Instagram account, to think about an Instagram account as a red carpet experience. What are the consistent things that you could do on an Instagram account that is your red carpet? To send somebody your link to Instagram. A loyalty plan, what could you do? Like maybe I think there's apps for that, Sarah, right? Like there's some apps that do, I think there is some apps that do loyalty plans. I don't know how expensive they are, that you can create like kind of like a punch card thing that you can send to people. A quiz, there are, hi Rachel, we're just finishing up the leadership training, but you may stay. So I would just think about that. Consistent activities with the red carpet experience are important for us to walk through them. And that's something that maybe if this is something all the leaders start thinking about for yourself, maybe next month's leadership training could be like, what are your consistent activities with your red carpet? And us kind of nailing those down. The other great thing about a red carpet is you can consistently sell the red carpet. So if you saw today, I posted my Instagram account on my personal page. You can consistently sell that places, and you can consistently ask. Now, I'm not saying asking every day about hosting, but you can consistently ask for business on your red carpet experience because your customers or your followers are saying yes to something right away. All right. The best places to share your red carpets and how often, every event, your Facebook events, your trunk shows, your vendor events, you can share. Get a raffle ticket by following me here. About every 8 posts on your personal feed. This is definitely one of those areas. Hi, Carissa. Hi, Bailey. You can say we're just finishing up leadership. About every 8 posts on your personal feed. This is a big deal to me because if you burn out your Facebook friend group, it's going to cause problems for you in your business about year 2. And then that's also where things get to be a little bit more of an uphill. And so you want to be kind of conscious about how often are you sharing your business on your personal feed. And sharing your red carpet experience on your personal feed is really, really important. Business cards for networking events. So if you're a conference girl, if you're a vendor event girl, I have a separate business card that just has follow me on my insider group. I don't even give them the Seiko website. I'm giving them a place to come and join me and learn more about me. The content training I did last week for the Teach Seiko Style, that can really help you with ideas of what type of content. And then why is a red carpet beneficial? So again, no burnout of customers if it's done consistently. It overcomes for your littles, even for me. In my brain, I already know intentionally I'm not cold calling anybody by working with the people in my insider group or in my red carpet. Opportunity to target customers better. You will get to know these women. You will get to know the people that are in your red carpet. There's no spaghetti slinging, so it's not just touching base with anybody with generic language. And it also creates loyalty to a specific fellow. Guys, I know that we're still like around the 600 mark. We will not be at the 600 mark by the end of this year. And so now is the time to build very specific loyalty with your customers that they come to Sarah as their Seiko fellow. All right. So ladies who are just joining me, I just finished up the leadership training. I always seem to go over about a couple minutes. The leadership training is accessible to everyone as far as the recording. And so I'm going to stop this recording. So I'm going to stop this now. See you later.